In this WrestleTalk news, Johnny Gargano makes his first appearance post-WWE in a rather surprising place. WWE are trying to win Sasha Banks and Naomi back, and so much more. So subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
So, as AEW continues to hoover up WWE releases and leavers, there are only a few names in the entire WrestleSphere that we're still waiting to see find a new home. One of those names with a lot of intrigue around them is Johnny Gargano. Where's Gargano go? Has become an even more prevalent question now that WWE creative has landed in the hands of Triple H. But Johnny's first major post-NXT appearance has actually come from a rather surprising place: Impact. Because Johnny Wrestling popped up out of nowhere on Thursday's Impact Wrestling for a cameo spot. Johnny appeared in a video heaping praise on Alex Shelley, an old friend and mentor of his who has earned his first ever shot at the Impact World Championship at Emergence on Friday, August the 12th. Now, Shelley earned the opportunity by beating Motor City Machine Gun's partner Chris Sabin and will challenge Josh Alexander at the event. Gargano obviously did his best to put Shelley over, saying, "In my opinion, Alex Shelley is one of the most underrated, most influential wrestlers of this generation. There are a lot of guys on television currently that would not be in the position they're in without the influence of Alex Shelley." Now, obviously, whenever something like this happens, the rumor mill begins churning, and people immediately started to wonder if Johnny Impact could become a thing. Hang on, we've already had one of those. Johnny Impact Wrestling. If that becomes a thing. Sadly not though, because Fightful Select managed to confirm that Johnny had done the spot as a favour to his old friend and was not in talks with Impact about signing there. Now, where Gargano ends up is still a rather hotly debated subject, as he's mostly been laying low since leaving NXT in December and the birth of his son Quill. One of the other major mysteries in wrestling rosters is what is happening with Sasha Banks and Naomi following their now infamous walkout. Because the pair disappeared from WWE TV after walking out of Raw on May the 16th and were verbally called out in commentary on SmackDown for letting down the WWE Universe, and have since reportedly been removed from the internal roster at the company. But there has also been a full-on changing of the guard at the top of the company since then, and now, according to secret spiller Dave Meltzer, the new leadership of Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, and Triple H are looking to reconcile with the former women's tag team champions. Feel like just want them back. Speaking on the Sports Illustrated Media podcast, he said, "It's kind of up in the air. I mean, they're gone. The last I heard was that there would be attempts made to reconcile, especially with Vince gone. So it's up in the air. I don't think there's anything definite just yet." Now, according to several reports, both Banks and Naomi's contracts were imminently set to expire prior to their walkout. While Naomi was negotiating a new deal shortly before her exit, Banks' contract is set to expire sometime later this year, according to former WWE writer Kazim Fumayidi. Weirdly, earlier this month, WWE sent out a survey seeking fan opinion on its current crop of talent. To the surprise of many there, the names of Banks and Naomi were listed in that survey, despite those reports that both of the women had actually been removed from the company's internal roster. Hope they don't tick that they like them, otherwise they're going to be hard to get back. Now, Banks has mostly been laying low since her supposed release, but is going to be making her first non-WWE public appearance at next weekend's Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, C2E2. According to Fightful Select, the boss is commanding an asking price of $30,000 per appearance, though she is currently accepting only non-wrestling bookings through 2022. But it is unknown if Banks is unable to make wrestling-related appearances this year due to a contractual obligation, but she just don't wanna have a little break.
Before we get on with the rest of the episode, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to this video's sponsor, DraftKings, the official gaming partner of this weekend's WWE SummerSlam. And to celebrate the event, DraftKings are putting you in the center of the action with $25,000 up for grabs. To take part, download the DraftKings app and sign up using our promo code and enter the free-to-play SummerSlam pool. You just need to answer questions like who will make a surprise return and who is walking away victorious. Victorious! The players who answer the most correct answers will win a share of $25,000 in prizes, all available this weekend. So download the DraftKings app now and use our promo code to enter the free WWE Prediction Challenge with $25,000 up for grabs throughout the weekend. Use our promo code now and enter the free $25,000 contest only at DraftKings, an official gaming partner of WWE.
Continuing on now with the Sasha Banks and Naomi adjacent news. Yesterday we told you about CM Punk's views on the situation after he made some comments at San Diego Comic-Con, pointing out that while people were quick to call out the two women for walking out, the same treatment was not given to Brock Lesnar, despite him seemingly threatening to do something similar at last week's SmackDown. Now Road Dogg, Brian James, has responded to Punk's response with a response while guesting on Busted Open Radio. During the segment, he said that the comparison was not fair and claimed that Punk was trying to make WWE look like the devil. I think they're doing a good job of that themselves. He said, "Only in WWE do you get to go, no, I don't like that, and walk away. I'm including Brock in that as well. Like, I know he came back, I don't know what conversation was held, but I also imagine everyone on social media jumping right to CM Punk as well. Let me throw his name in there to start some social media buzz." He jumped right to, "Oh, how come they didn't do the same to Brock Lesnar like they did to Sasha and Naomi? I think it was totally different. It's apples and oranges. You can't compare the two. It's not fair to compare the two. Anything to make the WWE the devil, especially on Twitter." He then basically suggested that bringing it up at all was virtue signaling. Aside from that, Road Dogg also made a rather interesting pitch for work during his time on the show, as he admitted to pretty much begging to work with AEW. Now, rumour has it that Billy Gunn is trying to get him a job behind the scenes there, but Road Dogg said, "I'm not retired, I'm unemployed, and I see things on Tony Khan's TV show that appall me. I could help with that. I have been begging for a job on every platform I can, and I want to know the reason why he won't hire me. Your show has appalled me. Now hire me." It's a rather interesting route to take, really, but I guess you wouldn't want to be caught virtue signaling. My advice is, and it's 2 words for you, Road Dogg: be nice. But while the dog remains shut out in the yard, things aren't perfectly peachy inside the house that Tony Khan built, as a mini trend took over the AEW Twitterverse, with stars seemingly airing their grievances about the amount of TV time they're getting within the absolutely stacked company. It began with Ethan Page tweeting a match graphic and saying, "Hey look, Ethan Page actually gets TV time this week. Nice change of pace at work if you ask me. Keep up the great work, AEW. Can't wait to do this again in 5 weeks." It's a harsh but pretty fair tweet, as AEW's roster depth has been criticised of late for giving limited TV time to some of the AEW originals. Brian Cage put out a bit more of a cryptic tweet, also seemingly aggrieved by the amount of wrestling he's getting to do, saying, "What's heartbreaking is doing what you love, but not doing what you love," which Sonny Kiss agreed with, adding, "Sure is." Now, critics have noted that it does seem like AEW's focus is on letting the ex-WWE guys who have joined the roster rapidly float to the top. But I would say that there has still been a huge investment in homegrown talent, with the likes of Jungle Boy, Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, Daniel Garcia, and Darby Allin, and MJF before that whole thing. Wardlow! I think the hope will be that when Ring of Honor gets weekly TV, which is in talks reportedly, there's going to be enough screen time for everyone to get their time in the spotlight. But it is a shame that the sheer growth of the roster has left some people who have been there since the beginning feeling left out in the cold. But the drama doesn't stop at the door of AEW, it's also within Ring of Honor, because shortly after dropping the ROH World Championship to Claudio Castagnoli at last weekend's Death Before Dishonor, it was reported that Jonathan Gresham had requested his release from AEW and ROH. Reports also noted that he had apparently felt disrespected over a lack of communication from Tony Khan and cussed him out in a meeting. Fightful Select have been doing some digging and found out new details on the sitch. They reported that even though both sides confirmed that things got heated between Gresham and Khan, it doesn't appear that any bridges were burned. In fact, the AEW side respected Gresham's professionalism in going through with the match despite being unhappy with it. Interestingly, while Tony Khan has previously noted that he would release talents from their contracts if they do make a request to be released, Fightful were not able to actually confirm that Gresham has actually been let out of his contract. This might be because they've tried to keep him in the fold, or they're still coming to terms on the release. I guess we just gotta wait and see. Back across the divide to WWE now, and Alexa Bliss has been having a rough old time of it since returning to screens. She had to do therapy, she lost the sort of dark Alexa character, she missed Mania, she got a new theme tune, and essentially had very little to do from week to week. This is obviously frustrating for Bliss, who was one of the highlights of the women's division before taking time out to get married, and that seemingly killing all of her momentum. Speaking with the Metro in the UK, she said, "They always say, be yourself, but turned up. But for me, in life, I like me. For TV, I'm not entertaining. I know that. I'm boring. I own a lot of Mickey Mouse ears." She didn't say that. "Now I'm in this limbo of, I don't really know where I'm going with my character yet, so now it's finding where I fit. What character is needed for the show? Right now, I'm just me, and I don't like that for TV. I like me for the outside life, but for TV, Lexi is not entertaining." And here's hoping with new creative control under Triple H, things are going to finally turn a corner. Hopefully, the new creative is also going to give us some progress in some other aspects of the program that have just kind of gone unresolved, like where in the hell is Edge? Because after being unceremoniously kicked out of Judgment Day by Finn Balor, the Rated R superstar has been in absentia. The video packages hyping his return have been playing since Money in the Bank last month. Now, many thought that this would lead to a return at Madison Square Garden this week, setting up a bout against Balor for SummerSlam tomorrow. Then it transpired that WWE reportedly cancelled travel for Edge on Monday afternoon, and he did not return on the show, leading many to then speculate that he would just make his return at SummerSlam instead. PW Insider provided an update on Edge's status, noting that both Edge and Beth Phoenix were slated for Raw in MSG, but the reported plans changed shortly after Vince McMahon's exit. Now, the original plans had the pair slated for the whole of SummerSlam weekend too, with there being no word on whether that is still happening or if they are holding off until after the show. But it is worth noting that Seth Rollins is out an opponent for the show, so maybe something could be done there. Oh, by the way, there's only a couple of days left. Back us on Kickstarter for the Blood on the Clock Tower thing. I'd do a proper plug, but I haven't written one. So just go to kickstarter.com, type in Noah's Bard or Blood on the Clock Tower, and back us if you want to see some episodes thing. All right? In this WrestleTalk news, CM Punk calls out the cowards and bootlickers in WWE. Riddle's injury is a work, reportedly. WWE under yet another investigation. And Ollie's going to be here reviewing AEW Dynamite, so subscribe and enable notifications to Always On for daily wrestling news videos.